Three. All right, this week on the latest episode of Real Contenders, we will look at the outstanding song and documentary contenders, all on the next episode, Real Contenders. All right, my name is Tim Gordon. I am the CEO and founder of the Black Real Awards, and I am joined by the nominating chairman for the Black Real Awards, Cordell Martin. Cordell, welcome back.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Hey, man. This is an exciting time of the year, bro. We getting ready. We are weeks away now from the nominations for the 22nd annual Black Real Awards, which will take place on Sunday night, February the 27th, 2022. As always, going into year 22, we always love to break down and forecast, not necessarily for our voters, because our voters are our voters, man. Those guys in the voting academy have a reputation of always getting this thing right, or at least close to as right as possible year in and year out. But this is for the audience, man, to kind of give you an idea. And I know last week we featured the lead and supporting actors. And did we do anybody else, or was it just the actors last week?
It was just the acting category.
All right, so we looked at the supporting category, or the supporting contenders, and the lead contenders. So we'll have more of that this week. So Cordell, let's jumpstart us and get us started, man. We're looking at outstanding song, and I haven't looked at the list in advance. Really, you start off with Jay-Z, but the harder they fall. That's your picture right there. So yeah, we will definitely have a lot of conversations. I'm anxious to see some of these songs. So let's get started, man.
All right. So to kick things off, here are leading contenders for original songs.
So let me see. I see two from The Harder They Fall. We got Bruise, we got King Richard, and we got Respect. This is gonna be tight this year. All right, well, let's go. Let's get into it, man. Dive right in and look at these contenders. All righty. So we're starting off with Her, right? For Bruised.
Yep.
She received her first nomination in this category last year for Fight for You. And of course, I think that was that Judas and the Black Messiah?
Judas and the Black Messiah. She won the Oscar for that song earlier this year. And, you know, she's just one of the industry darlings right now. I think she received about 8 Grammy nominations earlier this week. Bruce came out on Netflix this week. So with that being a widely viewed streaming platform, and with her name recognition, I think she'll be a leading contender in this category.
No, I think you might be right, man. And I really enjoyed Halle Berry's directorial debut, and the fact that she had a soundtrack that was all women. I thought that also accentuated it. And Her is absolutely fantastic. So yeah, I think you might be right. So who else do we have in this field? Who's the main contender? Oh, well. I mean, there's nothing you can say about who Beyonce is. Be Alive. She has been nominated. She's got 5 nominations you've written, tied for the most nominations in this category. And then in this category with 1 prior win for He Still Loves Me. Wow. Now, He Still Loves Me, I think, was from the Fighting Temptations back in like 2004. Am I correct?
Correct.
Damn, it's been a long time. Man, Beyonce is due. And I'm sure her fan base will remind us that she is due.
Yeah, so I mean, she's, like I've written, the most nominated person. She's tied with John Legend in this category. She has yet to win since 2003, considering she had several film song nominations from like The Lion King, Dreamgirls, so on and so forth. Right. So it'll be very interesting to see if she can ride the wave of King Richard, since that's one of our predicted films as a front runner.
Wow.
Maybe she might ride that wave and receive her second win. If she does get nominated and ultimately win, I believe she would tie with John Legend and Mary J. Blige. Well, actually, with Mary J. Blige for the most wins by a woman in this category.
Wow, that's pretty impressive, man. But go ahead, because there's a lot of drama. Because you've said Her, you've said Beyonce, Who else is nominated in this category, or we see as a contender? Oh, okay. Wow. Now this would be interesting. We've never had have we ever had siblings of any kind be nominated, or people related to each other nominated in any category ever?
I know we've had like fathers and sons nominated in categories, but never against each other. So you had Will and Jaden, an outstanding actor,
Right.
Denzel and David. I don't think we've ever had siblings or spouses against each other in the same year. So this might be a first. You know, the Carters are known for breaking records and setting the mold for everyone else to follow. So this will be another case where they kind of make history.
Well, this is interesting because the last two movies you've just put up were two movies I literally watched last night in family time for the holidays. We watched The Harder They Fall, followed by King Richard, followed by The Harder They Fall. So the order you actually put them in was actually how they were watched in the house last night. I Can Make Those Guns Go Bang. Wow, it's a good song, man. Him and Kid Cudi. This would be the first nomination for Kid Cudi. Sean Carter has 2 previous nominations. And I'm trying to read because we got stuff in here. Run This Town and No Church in the Wild. So this ought to be really, really interesting, man. Okay, so do we have any other heavyweights in this category?
I wouldn't say this person.
Yeah. No, I says I'm setting it up. Yeah, you do. Now, this is interesting right here. Coffee, of all the songs that we put on here, this to me might be the hardest song, right? I'm talking about like that makes me move, The Harder They Fall. This song right here is electric. I really like this performance as well. This is a Jamaican performer, right? Yep. Yeah, Coffee. So yeah, this would be a good one, and I think you're absolutely right making this a contender. It's the title track from the movie, and it goes hard. So, do you have any comment on Coffee as a potential nominee?
Yeah, to your point, it's the title track of the film. Once again, The Harder They Fall is probably widely predicted to receive a lot of nominations. So I think, like King Richard, this will probably be one of those songs and contenders that will kind of ride that wave of the nominations once we announce in December. And sometimes the song category likes to throw a little curveball. So sometimes you don't have to be the biggest name to win in this category. And I think the title track speaks for itself, and I think she's a strong contender as a possible upset if she is nominated. And
then your last potential contender is a frigging Black Reel Award winner. Wow. I'm gonna tell you, of all the categories we've gone through so far, right? Cordell, if we ended up with these 5 nominees, I'd be like, good luck, man. Y'all have fun, because this is a stat. You're talking about Jay-Z, Beyonce, Jennifer Hudson, her, and Coffee. That's huge. That is. I mean, look. I sign off on all of these. Fingers crossed that you can get that. But this is a great collection of contenders. I mean, Jennifer Hudson. Here I am singing my way home from Respect. Hudson has 3 nominations in this category. Including 1 win for And I'm Telling You I'm Not Going from Dreamgirls back in 2007. It's fantastic, man. She is. Was she nominated last year for Cats, or we didn't get her in for Cats?
No, I think her last song nomination was for a documentary that Diane Warren wrote the song for. So, this song in particular by Carole King, who wrote Natural Woman for
Aretha Franklin. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, man.
Moment.
All right, man. So who are some of the spoilers that are in this category that could possibly take out one of these? And this is going to be interesting. So let's see. Ooh, Black Woman, The Harder They Fall from Lauryn Hill. I like that song. I'm not sure if it's strong enough to knock off one of the other songs that we've already looked at. Scarred from Bruise is another one. I mean, I think there's some good songs in here. Ooh, Home All Summer from In the Heights. Cordell, do you see anything in here, man, that could possibly take out one of the main contenders?
I mean, Black Woman is a spoiler,
Hmm.
especially the voters love The Harder They Fall. They could just throw that in there, and there'll be a potential third nominee from that film. Um,
Yeah, but if you put her in there, who would you take out? You're not taking out Beyonce. You're not taking out Jay. You're not taking out. Are you taking out Jennifer Hudson? You're taking out her?
either her or Jennifer Hudson.
Ooh, man, yeah, Black Woman. That song goes hard too. Wow.
Yeah, so that's one. Anderson .Paak. The song isn't as popular, but he's one of the hottest things in music now with Silk Sonic. So people might look at the name and just vote him in.
Yeah.
Kirk Franklin is a gospel legend. I know Space Jam wasn't the best reviewed film, but a lot of people went to go see it, for the nostalgia factor. And with him being Kirk Franklin, another person who people might just name check. In the Heights, musicals have done really well in this category. We've seen nominations for The Fighting Temptations, Dreamgirls, Sparkle, so on and so forth. So that could fit in the mold and be a potential nominee. And then Scared from Bruised, if the voters really love Bruised, that could be a coattail nomination along with the song from her.
All right. So do we have any other contenders? From this list. Outside of this list, who's next?
So that's pretty much what captures the original
So
song.
this is it right here. Okay. So these 10 songs you think, huh? So at no point did you think about Black Thought's. I forget the name of the song, but Black Thought appears in Tick Tick Boom, which is why I wore the t-shirt or this sweatshirt, because that song from Black Thought, I don't know if it would knock out any of the top 5, but it would actually be a spoiler. It's just a very interesting year with music. So this is it, huh? Just these 10 selections. We didn't see anything else past this.
There's a few other outside contenders, but I kind of kept it to 10
Right.
for the categories that we're discussing today.
Gotcha.
Just because, I just wanted to make it a little bit more competitive instead of just trying to just add people for the sake of adding people.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I think out of this group, the one that really is a true spoiler that could upset the mix, Lauryn Hill, man, is somebody who people really, really like. And she had the comeback song with Nas early this summer. She's back with Black Woman from The Harder They Fall. The Harder They Fall is a film that's getting a lot of love and attention. And you're right. People could just look at The Harder They Fall and just check the Harder They Fall box for everything. So you never know, man. You never know. And I agree with you about Anderson .Paak, man. Silk Sonic is hot right now. So you never know, man. But if we ended up with the 5 who were on our original sheet, I, for one, would be happy. I'm just telling you. So, all right, man. So any last thoughts on the outstanding song contenders before we move on to outstanding documentary contenders?
Just to echo your thoughts, I think this is probably going to be one of the strongest years in this category. In the past couple of years, you had that 1 or 2 songs that you kind of knew was the front runner to win, but this race this year is really competitive, and I'm curious to see who's nominated and ultimately who wins.
Oh yeah, well, it's going to be interesting because we get a husband and wife nomination team. That's going to be pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting in the same year. All right, Cordell, take us away, man. What's next?
All right, so next up is outstanding documentary. And so just like the original song, I listed 10 contenders in this category. And here we are.
All right, let's take a look. Oh my God. Yeah, man. I've seen all these. This is pretty interesting. All right, let's go through some of these, man. Ailey just jumps out. All right, you go ahead, but go ahead. I love how you do the sheet. Oh, I didn't even know you were going to start with Ailey. Directed by Jamila Wignot, an immersive portrait of dance pioneer Alvin Ailey told through his own words in a new dance inspired by his life. I saw this documentary as a judge for another festival that somebody had me as on their jury. And This film to me was really interesting because I'm a guy, Cordell, and you may know this, that I've been going to see at the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater here in DC. I don't know, since the mid 90s. I've seen this thing like 20 times plus, man. And I love Revelations. And there's a huge section of the documentary that talks about that and then talks about who Alvin Ailey was and his impact. Just absolutely an amazing documentary. And I think you're absolutely right that this is one of the leading contenders this year. What are you thinking about Ailey?
No, I agree. And what we've seen in the last couple of years, a lot of documentaries that are centered around real life figures like Clarence Avant, Quincy Jones, just to name a few, have won in this category. So I think with someone with that similar name recognition, I think he would pretty much be a lock for nomination in this category.
Got you. All right, let's move on to the next one. Oh my God, man. Stanley Nelson, man. Here's a guy who I've watched many of his documentaries, man, over the last 10 years. I think notably docs like Vanguard of the Revolution, the Black Panther Party. I'm trying to think. I mean, he's done so many of them that, I've lost track, like the HBCU doc he's done. I'm trying to think, like off the top of my head, I've seen so many of his documentaries. I'm just like, damn, Stanley Nelson is a fixture. Oh, he did one on Angela Davis, I think we nominated. This one tells the story of the 1971 uprising that sheds new light on the enduring violence and racism of the prison system and highlights the urgent ongoing need for reform. 50 years later, it is simply Attica. It is an amazing doc that I also had an opportunity to see earlier this year. But this is not the front runner. We haven't gotten there yet. Cordell is about to scroll through. Let me see if the next slide is the front runner. No, this is another good doc. I saw this one at Middleburg last month from Rex Miller and Sam Pollard. This is Citizen Ashe, which explores the tennis career of Arthur Ashe and his impact on tennis and his HIV activism. Cordell, this is a really good documentary right here. I mean, I know I sound like a broken record. Between Attica, between what was the first one you previewed? Oh, Ailey. All three of these have a strong point of view. I actually learned some stuff about not Alvin Ailey, about Arthur Ashe in this documentary that I did not know. I knew he was a great tennis player, and I knew I scratched the surface on his HIV activism, but the film really takes a deeper dive into who Arthur Ashe was. And I know from talking to friends of mine that they're working or floating a screenplay around for a feature film about Arthur Ashe right now. So this is a really strong contender. And I think you're absolutely right. I agree with every choice you've made so far as it relates to the potential, big five in each one of these categories. Now, who's next? This is the one doc that I did not see yet. And this is Faya. Is it Faya Daya?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, I'm not sure. I don't want to, in case I was mispronouncing it. From Jessica Bashir, and it's a spiritual journey into the highlands of Harar, immersed in the rituals of Khat, a leaf Sufi Muslims chewed for centuries for the religious meditations in Ethiopia's most lucrative cash crop today. Interesting. All right, I definitely want to see that one. Do we have access to this documentary for our team?
I'm trying to get it.
All right, just check it. I know what cot is. I've seen it in a lot of the films, or seen it chewed in a lot of the films that we've seen when we go and look at some of the contenders over the years. But I would definitely love to check this one out. Cordell, why do you think this is a film that is a leading contender this year and will get the attention of the voting academy?
Yeah, I think it's a leading contender. In terms of just the industry, it was nominated for several Critics' Choice Documentary Awards. So that was what kind of put me on its radar. Also, just looking at the trailer and some of the stills is beautifully shot. So this could be one of those documentary films that receive nominations outside of just this category. And I think the subject matter as well will resonate with voters in terms of it being a nominee. Aside from those biographical documentaries, also anything that's talking, about religion or crime or um, anything along that nature tends to resonate with nominations in this category. So I kind of just based it on those factors.
Got you. All right, because there's one documentary that I didn't see in your top 5, and I'm hoping that it's in your best contenders. I'm gonna be like, hey man, you missed one. But this documentary right here, I think it not only will be a nominee, this is going to be a strong contender to take home the title. This is simply called Summer of Soul, When the Revolution Couldn't Be Televised, from Questlove. Saw this summer. We literally just had, I belong to the Critics' Choice Association. They just had the documentary awards about a week ago. It swept the documentary awards, winning all 6 categories that it was nominated in. It is to say it's a really good documentary. If you haven't watched this thing yet, just think if there was a superstar concert that happened 50 years ago, not that you didn't see, but you never heard of before. And then you found all this footage of young Stevie Wonder, Sly Stone, Nina Simone, the Fifth Dimension. There's just so many amazing performances. I thought it was the best documentary of the year when I saw it this summer. I don't have a vote, so I can say probably it's still the best documentary of the year. Cordell Martin, how obvious is it, not just for the Summer of Soul as a nominee, but a super duper strong contender?
Yeah, I agree. I think this is definitely the front runner. In terms of just the critical acclaim the documentary has received. It was also premiered on Hulu. And so, as we've mentioned before, it's all about accessibility to our voters. And so I'm sure a lot of voters are able to catch this, especially during the summer. If not, hopefully they catch it soon. I also think this film is going to be one of those documentaries that's going to receive several nominations in other categories. I think Questlove will probably be nominated for Emerging Director, as this is his directorial debut. And then to your point, the subject matter. As I've mentioned before, a lot of films, as of most recently, a lot of music-based subject matter with your Quincy, Clarence Avant, the Nina Simone documentary that won a couple years ago. I think this will fall into that lane as well. I thought it was well put together. I thought the storytelling was amazing. And as someone who is, generations far removed from this era, it was just cool just to kind of see a lot of those legendary artists that I grew up listening to from my parents and grandparents, and just seeing their artistry out on stage. So
amazing, man. I mean, yeah, I can't talk enough about this, and we will have plenty of time because we will continue to do real forecasts once we have our nominations. But there's not too much more I can say about this without them giving me a check, because I love this documentary a lot. So yeah, and at some point we need to revisit the history of documentaries at the Black Reel Awards, because I think we could probably come up with our own top 10 lists or top 20 lists or whatever kind of list we can, because we've had some amazing documentaries. And you heard me say earlier, Stanley Nelson has produced a lot of them, and there's some other great documentarians that are out there. But show me some of the spoilers, because I want to see, because I'm watching a documentary right now and I want to see if oh my God, you didn't put this documentary as your spoiler. Let me just hold this up because I'm watching this right now. Can you see this? Oh man, I hate in the background. There it is. That might work. Cordell, you're making a mistake. My name is Paulie Murray, man. You gotta put that as a spoiler, man. That's another leading documentary. I was looking to see if you had it on here, but let's look at this. Rita Moreno, just a girl who decided to go for it, could actually upset the documentary pool this year, because I saw this documentary months ago, the story of the Latin or the Latina Sidney Poitier, which is basically the easiest way to say it, about how she broke barriers and put her entire culture on her back. And it's all in the documentary, which I think is like one of the year's best. Last Man Standing, Suge Knight and the Murders of Tupac and Biggie. Never saw it. Who We Are, Chronicle of Racism in America. I've heard a lot about this. This played at Middleburg. I didn't get a chance to check it out there. I am looking to check it out. Sisters on the Track and A Crime on the Bayou, they're good. You got to get My Name is Paulie Murray in there as a spoiler, because that's another one that I think could upset you, and that could actually fit into the top 5 with the subject matter about an African-American woman who was an activist, a priest, and so many other things for about 50 years, man. It's just an amazing story that people have been talking about, and I think it's on Amazon right now. Yeah, it's on Amazon right now. So you talk about that accessibility. That would be funny if there was something nominated that you didn't have in your top 5, and even as a spoiler, I'd be like, Cordell, how you gonna let the people, how you gonna miss something that, I mean, I'm not being funny, but that was one that I was looking to see, and I was watching it now. It's a really good doc. It's a really good doc, man. All right, Cordell, so any other thoughts on the outstanding documentary contenders and spoilers before we close this show out, man? Because this is always a category that I love, because I love these the docs that are really good are always a really strong POV. They introduce you to somebody, and then they kind of take a deep dive into their lives with a lot of perspective from the people closest to them, people who knew them, and a lot of archival footage. That's kind of what makes a great doc to me personally. So
yeah, I agree. And with some of these spoilers, I mean, Rita Moreno, as you mentioned, the name recognition with her being a legendary artist, she could sneak in that top 5. I mean, Biggie and Tupac and Suge Knight, that story has been told numerous times in many different ways, but for some odd reason, it's just a subject matter that entices and entices our voters. I mean, it's been nominated for our TV awards several times. I think there was a Tupac documentary that was nominated actually for Best Picture in our awards. The Notorious movie was nominated. There was a limited series about Biggie and Tupac. So our voters love Biggie and Tupac. So you can't never count anything with them out. Who We Are, A Chronicle of Racism in America, like I mentioned before, just with the relevant subject matter that this documentary focuses on, could be a potential contender. Sisters on Track, sometimes those feel-good documentaries tend to sneak in, like your documentaries like Step, for example.
right.
Also Netflix, so watch out for that if people want something that is feel-good and lighthearted in terms of subject matter. And then A Crime in the Bayou, once again, just because of the relevant subject matter, I had it as a potential spoiler.
Got you. Yeah, and I want to also, for people at home, they're like, Tim, you didn't say that Rita Moreno is the first Latina EGOT winner. Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award winners. Only 16 or 17 of them, and Rita Moreno got in that club really, really early, like in the 70s. She got I think her Tony or her Grammy. But yeah, man. So it's a great list, man. I like what we've done both today with the song and the documentary categories. And as I said, we're gonna have much more of these forecasts after nominations are announced on Thursday, December the 16th. So we'll be back with more. But Cordell, on behalf of the Black Real Awards, man, thank you. It's always great to sit down and kind of look at some of these things and kind of shed light, pull the curtain back, and let the public see kind of some of the things that the Voting Academy is going to have to consider. And also remember, even though we didn't have it in there, My Name is Paulie Murray is another super strong contender. You want to definitely check that one out too. But as we tell you guys every week, please see something good at the movies. All we do here is give you option after option. So we'll see you guys on the other side. You guys take care and enjoy your day. Bye, Cordell.
All right, bye.